Hello everyone, welcome to yet another episode of Let Us Talk. My name is Girish and I am into investment management and financial advisory services. First of all, I hope all of you are keeping safe and doing fine. Today we are going to talk about a very important aspect of financial planning which by and large everyone misses to talk about, discuss and more importantly execute it. Everyone talks about the need of a goal, how to achieve a goal, what are the different ways to achieve a goal like retirement, child planning, so on and so forth. In fact, there are sites these days which also help you achieve a holiday goal. But financial planning is not only about goal setting and achieving them, it is also about planning for your legacy. What happens to all the finances after you? That I think is the most important aspect of financial planning. Most of you may not know, but in India, real estate has no nomination facility. Also, a nominee in most financial instruments is only a custodian and not the owner of the instrument. Hence, it's open to dispute. So, what we're going to talk about today is creating a legacy, writing a will for every one of us, even if we have few assets in our name. And I'll tell you why it is important and a very simple way of doing it as well. That's the topic that we're going to discuss today. The need for a will and the importance of a will and a very simple way of documenting it as well. Over the last 1.5 years, you would have heard enough and more stories of people around us who have passed away untimely due to COVID and related ailments. And the families were left to face the issues of finding out what the person had investments, exposure, loans, liabilities. All this was left to the family to figure out, run around. In most cases, the family wasn't aware of what a particular person was exposed to in terms of investments, in terms of liabilities. So the money is stuck now. So if even one has investments or someone is coming home to ask for liabilities, people have no clue what it is about. So, and generally people have a tendency to buy a property in the city that you were born, the city that you last lived, giving advance to something but not noting it down. It's very stressful for the people who are left behind. We have cases where children are orphans or senior citizens are left alone at a very difficult stage in life. This lack of last mile planning and only thinking of situations in the present and what returns could come and what could happen tomorrow or with the current set of money, it leaves the survivors in a very messy situation. To address all these, a will is arguably the best and the most essential instrument in your entire financial journey towards a suitable financial plan for your family and your dependents after you. At this point of time, I must inform you that I am not a practicing or a qualified lawyer. This is a very general information that I am giving you, and I would request you to consult a legal, learned personal or qualified lawyer if you want to discuss and understand writing a will and its consequences much better and deeper. So today we'll discuss some of the very basics of writing a will, why and how. That should help you writing or thinking more deeply about the process of a will almost immediately. First of all, I'll briefly take you through what is a will. Essentially, a will is a legal document that sets forth your wishes regarding the distribution of your property and your assets and the care of any minor children, as per your wishes. If you die without a will, those wishes may not be carried out. Further, your heirs, your legal heirs, your successors might end up spending a lot of additional time, money, energy to settle the affairs after one is gone. So one can prepare a valid will himself or herself, but you should have the document witnessed to decrease the likelihood of chances for it to get contested later. Preferably, talk to a local lawyer or someone a legal personnel to get this drafted. Why should one write a will? Very specifically, I told you what is a will. That's a legal document, but why should one write a will? First of all, it takes care of transfer of all financial instruments in case you forgot nominating on any specific account, deposit, mutual fund, demat account, so on and so forth, PPF. so on. So it serves, it overrides all kind of nominations where you have given or where you have not given especially. People tend to create multiple fixed deposits, while the savings account may have a nomination but fixed deposit may not have a nomination. Or a fixed deposit may have nomination, savings account may not have a nomination. These cases happen all the time in banks. Secondly, and most importantly, nominee is only a custodian of assets. Except life insurance, nominee doesn't own the assets. So nomination is prone to contesting from legal heirs. Most importantly, in India, everyone has lots of real estate, and real estate has no nomination facility. The biggest hurdle comes when the legal heirs want to transfer the property to their names and there is an absence of will. That's the biggest hurdle that comes in most cases. Failure to prepare a well-drafted will typically engage the successors and the legal heirs into contesting or fighting for assets, and typically then it will go to a court who will decide how to get the assets, and it could take its own sweet time. So it's important that a will covers all your assets, all your wishes in the form that you want it. Now, and the last and the most important thing is that there are a lot of transactions that the family may not be aware of. You have lent some money, you have invested in a property, given in advance without a receipt. All these can be documented in a will. Your exposure to unlisted shares, you have a startup where you have stake, and that's not yet dematted. So all of these can be documented effectively in a will, and this can be gifted as per your wishes. You have an heirloom from the family, you have a very expensive watch, you want to give it to your niece, not to your children. All this can be documented in a will very, very logically. The last part we'll get to is how to write a will. A will essentially would need, first of all, you need to gather all your list of all your assets, and you also need to think about what your wishes are. One can prepare their own will without legal assistance in a language that is simple to understand and legally viable for further documentation. A will can be handwritten or typed. It should be very clear in specifying one's personal details, the family details, the property details, and the details of witnesses. The most important thing is you must make sure that the will that one handwrites or types it himself or herself is to be done when one is mentally sound, without any fear, force, coercion, and undue influence. You can always get a will registered, but registration is not mandatory. 2 witnesses are mandatory to have cited the will. You must invite witnesses to sign off on the will that you have written yourself. The best thing is to obviously consult a local lawyer and get a will drafted from them so that the legal language is very clear and there are no complexities on that. So today I just wanted to highlight the importance of financial planning, but financial planning, the legacy planning or writing the will, which I think is the most important, because we keep running around gathering finances, trying to invest them, make better return out of them, and so on and so forth. But what 99% or 90% of the people miss out on is making sure that the assets are transferred to the rightful successors as per your wishes, who has earned the asset. So to conclude, please write a will at the earliest opportunity available, and that's it from my side. Happy to answer any queries you can write, and please do like and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much.